One reason for inflation is the Federal Reserve printing more money in thin air. If you're elected, will you abolish the Federal Reserve and push back on gold standards where money actually has value?
I'm not going to abolish the Fed because that cannot be done overnight in the Fed. The Fed, you know, my uncle did, which my uncle saw what the Fed was doing, and the impacts. The Fed was originally created as the lender of last resort, which has a value when you run into economic problems. But of course, the Fed originally immediately became captured by the central banks, and now there's a manipulation cycle where they print a lot of money and do what they call quantitative easing, which sucks the American public into borrowing heavily. And they raise the interest rates to 7%, and people lose their equities, and allows the big actors like BlackRock to swoop in and steal all their assets. And Americans are being systematically stripped of assets by the Fed. And the Fed policies inextricably move wealth upward, and they're creating a society that is now where there's huge wealth above and widespread poverty below. My uncle saw it, and that is a configuration that cannot support democracy over the long term. And that is what the action of the Fed does. What we need to do, which I will do, I'm not going to promise to abolish the Fed. I wish I could do that. You can't do that overnight.
Created overnight.
Yeah, but now the entire world economic system is dependent on it, and is inextricably linked to it. What I'm going to do a couple of things. One of the things that my uncle did, which is a few months before his death, he recognized that fiat currency was the currency of war. Fiat currency was created to wage war, and it was shifting wealth upward. And he created a silver certificate and a gold certificate, so that there would be at least some base currency available to the American people that would inject discipline into the market to curtail at least this practice of just printing as much money with no impact. I'm going to issue a series of treasury notes that are rooted in base currency, including Bitcoin, silver, gold, platinum, and other base currencies, at least partially, so that Americans will have an option of buying T-bills and of borrowing and of attaining assets that are rooted in base currency, so that they're more of a hedge against inflation. And that will inject discipline into the market. But, we need a lot more than that. We need to stop printing money, and that means initially we need to wind down the empire abroad. We have 800 bases abroad. China has 1.5. And each one of those bases is an opportunity for new wars and new spending. And we have an intelligence apparatus and military apparatus that their function now, as my uncle recognized, is simply to provide the military-industrial complex with a constant pipeline of new wars that we end up paying for.